All right, starting this bulletin with a top-breaking story. In this hour, Zohran Mamdani won the Democratic primary. Who won the Democratic primary earlier this year has now won the New York City mayoral polls. Mamdani, a member of the Democratic Party, was facing former Governor Andrew Cuomo, an independent candidate, and Republican Curtis Sliwa in the key mayoral election. All right, so Mamdani has won the election of New York Mayor. Siddhant Mishra is joining us on this story. Siddhant, tell us about the political and social significance of the victory of Mamdani.
That's right, Arun. New York City gets the new mayor. Zohran Mamdani will be the mayor of the New York City. In fact, in last 1 month, we saw a very high octane, very loaded battle between the three candidates. And in fact, now we're getting to know that Zohran Mamdani has been declared as the next mayor of the New York City. So, his story, if we talk about Arun, from standing at neck on a footpath, asking people's attention, to becoming a social media rage in New York City, not just in New York City, but whole of America and world. Perhaps that has been the journey of Zohran Mamdani in last 1 year. And in fact, his campaign style, his informal, casual way of interacting with people, and especially the freebie culture which he has been talking about. He is somebody who speaks about free bus rides. He promised free bus rides. He in fact also spoke about grocery shop, the government owned grocery shops for people. He also promised that he will also be tackling the soaring price rise in the New York City, etc., etc. So he has definitely made the tall promises, and perhaps that is one of the reasons for his victory. But at the same time, his informal, casual style of talking, interacting with people, raising people's issues, etc., played to his victory, and this is the reason that today, he won the elections. And in fact, despite the entry of President Trump on the 11th hour, where President Trump asked his supporters to vote for Andrew Cuomo, not for the Republican Party candidate, but for the Andrew Cuomo. And in fact, he said that if Zohran Mamdani wins the election, then he is also going to cut down the budget which will be allocated to the New York City, etc., etc. So perhaps that also somewhere fueled the election, polarized the election to some extent. He's also alleged that Zohran Mamdani is an anti-Jew, etc., etc. All those things were said, but finally he wins the election, and perhaps a big victory, Arun. And a very last point, not a great day for Republican Party, President Trump's party, Arun, because in Virginia and New Jersey, Republican Party lost to the Democratic Party candidates.
That's right. This is not a good sign for Donald Trump also. Zohran Mamdani becoming the first Muslim mayor of New York. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for putting this story into perspective. Now, all right, let me go to Siddhant Mishra here again. Siddhant, of course, Mamdani is a fierce critic of Donald Trump and vice versa also. What is going to be the expectations of the New Yorkers now from Mamdani?
Well, as far as Mamdani is concerned, Arun, he is a rage in the New York City. In fact, ahead of the polls, also the surveys, etc. The mainstream media also was declaring him the winner of the mayor polls, and perhaps that exactly happened. So as I said, that he was raising people's issue, he was focusing on Aam Aadmi's issue, common man's issue, the price rise, free bus rides, etc., etc. He made tall promises. Perhaps his opposition, Andrew Cuomo, and the Republican Party candidate were kind of questioning him for the fact that how will he be able to fulfill these promises, because it's not possible. But he made those promises. He was called a communist, etc., etc., etc. All those things were said about him, but he was confident, and his social media campaign, his people connect, perhaps played a huge role in his victory. In fact, as I said, that a year back he was standing on a footpath, seeking for people's attention to New York's issues, things like that. And then he suddenly became the social media rage. He started shooting his videos from bakery, from the local grocery shops, etc., explaining to people that how much extra they are paying for the grocery, for the basic amenities, things like that, and that really helped him connecting to the masses. So you see that despite President Trump supporting Andrew Cuomo, and there is no big Democratic Party leader coming in support of Zohran Mamdani. Like if you see on the seats of Virginia and New Jersey, Barack Obama personally campaigned for those candidates, but Zohran Mamdani fought this election on his own with the support of people. In fact, he is also not being funded. He was not funded by the business houses in New York City. He was funded by people. Perhaps that's what he has been saying, because largely the mainstream media in New York, the business houses were against him, were against his politics. So in the beginning, he couldn't garner the support. So he crowdfunded his campaign. He relied more on social media, YouTubing, than going to mainstream media, things like that. So he built his campaign on his own. And today he has won the mayor's election. Also, Arun, very important to highlight that, as I said, as we were discussing before, not a great day for President Trump's party. This also reflects the mood.
Siddharth, I guess your mic is on mute, so
Yeah. Can you hear me,
yeah.
Arun?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So New Jersey, Arun, if we talk about New Jersey's demographic, then New Jersey has one of the largest Indian population living there, and which makes 4.96% of the total population of New Jersey, and Democratic Party candidate wins from that seat. So definitely the mood
And
this election ahead of the
yes.
midterm polls reflects upon the mood of people in the United
And
States.
Siddhant, on one side, Donald Trump has been working on a different path altogether, where Mamdani speaks about rent
Yeah,
freezing. There shouldn't be any rent increase for the tenants. He talks about the
yeah,
housing affordability and free bus ride,
yeah.
etc. So how both these things are going to deal with these things?
Well, definitely, it's going to be very challenging for Zohran Mamdani, because in the run up to the elections, he made tall promises to be famous, to garner the support. As you rightly said, free rides, cost of living, things like that, grocery shops, government-owned grocery shops, etc., etc. So he was criticized also, and he was questioned at that point in time that how will he make these, how will he live up to these promises? So now the real challenge for Zohran Mamdani begins, because he should also remember that President Trump has openly threatened to cut down the budget for the New York City if Zohran Mamdani becomes the mayor. That was perhaps the 11th hour intervention by President Trump ahead of the mayoral elections. So definitely, politically, it's going to be really challenging for him. He has to take on the Republican Party, President Trump himself. Uh, is definitely powerful, and talking about the New York City, Arun, then New York City has less number of MAGA supporters if we compare it to the other districts and
That's right.
provinces. So it is not a hardcore MAGA constituency. New York has never been a MAGA constituency. So definitely, but 11th hour intervention by President Trump, making an appeal to people to vote for Andrew
Yes.
Cuomo, things like that, but that did not work. So definitely popular, but to sustain this popularity, he has to live up to the promises he made in the run up to the elections.
He has really made Siddhant some tall promises. Now, of course, people of New York would be expecting to fulfill those promises. How that's going to happen, we'll have to see.